Once a year, the cabin walls turned white for reasons that had almost nothing to do with looking pretty. Come every spring, up and down these hollers, a family would slake a barrel of lime and paint the whole inside of the house a fresh, clean white. The porch posts too, the chicken house, the trunks of the apple trees down by the road. And if you asked my grandmother why, she wouldn't say a word about how it looked. She'd say it was time. I'm going to give you the real reasons behind that white, and there are 4 of them. Every one of them practical. It's about light in a dark little cabin. It's about the bugs. It's about keeping the logs sound another year. And it's about starting the warm season clean after a long, smoky winter. Stay with me, and I'll walk you through the whole of it. The lime, the brush, and the morning the walls went white. First thing to understand, this was not paint, not the kind you buy in a can. Money was scarce back in the 30s and 40s where I came up, and store-bought paint was for townfolk. What we had was whitewash, and whitewash starts with lime. Now, lime came from limestone, burned down in a kiln until it turned to quicklime. A few men in our county kept a little lime kiln going, and you could get a sack of it or trade for it. You carry that quicklime home and slake it, which just means you set it in a wood barrel and poured water over it. And I'll tell you, that lime came alive. It hissed, and it steamed, and it got hot enough to raise a blister if you weren't careful. My daddy always said, stand back and let it work. Once it settled and cooled, it was thin and milky white, about like buttermilk. To that, the old folks would stir in a double handful of salt so it would stick better and not rub off on your sleeve. Some added a cup of skim milk for the same reason, and the particular ones would drop in a little bluing, so the walls dried a clean white instead of going yellow. That was the whole recipe: lime, water, salt, and know-how. So why spring? Why not any old time? Part of it was the weather. You wanted the doors and windows thrown open so the walls could dry and the lime smell could air out. And you couldn't do that with snow on the ground. Spring, after the last hard frost, was the first stretch you could work with, the house wide open to the sun. But the bigger part was what winter did to a cabin. All those cold months, you kept a fire going in the fireplace, day and night. You burned coal oil in the lamps of an evening, and every bit of that wood smoke and lamp soot went up and settled on the walls and the ceiling. By February, the inside of a cabin had gone dark and dingy, sooted over gray. Come the first warm week, folks were ready to be shut of it. Whitewashing was the last and best part of spring cleaning. After the floors were scrubbed and the bedding was aired, you put the winter behind you by painting right over it. Here's the first real reason, and it's one people forget today because we just flip a switch. Those cabins were dark. A log house might have 2 little windows, and glass cost money, so sometimes a window was nothing but greased paper that let in a dull glow. Inside, the walls were bare logs and dark chinking. Of a winter evening, all the light you had was one coal oil lamp and the fire on the hearth. Try shelling a pan of beans or threading a needle by that. White walls changed everything. Lime white is about the brightest thing you can put on a wall, and it took that one little lamp and threw the light all around the room. My grandmother could sit by the window of an afternoon and quilt without straining because the whitewashed wall behind her caught the daylight and gave it back. A fresh coat in spring meant the whole cabin lifted. It felt bigger. It felt awake. For folks who had so little, that free light off a white wall was worth every bit of the work. The second reason is the one my granddaddy cared most about, and that's the bugs. A log cabin has 100 little cracks and seams. Between the logs was the chinking and daubing, mud and clay packed in to keep the wind out. And every one of those cracks was a place for insects to winter over and hide. Bed bugs in the wood of the bedstead, little crawling things down in the chinking. That thick lime whitewash went right into the cracks and sealed them up. When you brushed it on heavy, it filled the seams and closed the hiding places, and a bug does not care for fresh lime one bit. So folks whitewashed every spring to knot the bugs back and keep them from getting a hold. And it wasn't just the house. You whitewashed the chicken house inside and out because a coop draws mites something fierce, and a fresh coat of lime kept them down so the hens would sit in peace. You did the hog pen and the spring house the same way. Any place that drew vermin got the brush. It was the plainest, cheapest way we had to keep a place from being overrun. Third reason, it made things last. Those logs and that mud chinking took a beating. Rain, sun, the freeze and the thaw all winter long. The daubing would dry out and crack and start to crumble, and once the chinking goes, the weather gets in and the logs begin to rot. A coat of lime over the chinking every spring sealed it back up and shed the water, and it held that mud in place another year. It was cheap upkeep on a house you meant to keep standing. The hearth and the fireplace stones got whitewashed too, to freshen them where the smoke had blackened them. And down by the road, folks whitewashed the bottom few feet of the fruit trees, the apple and the peach. That white on the trunk shielded the bark from splitting in the strong spring sun, and it marked the trees plain, so nobody backed a wagon into one. Every bit of it was the same idea, a little lime, and a thing lasts you another season. And here's the fourth reason, the one that ties it all together. It just made everything clean and new. Whitewash Day was a family day. Everybody had a job. The young ones told it water and stirred the barrel. My mother cut the brushes, sometimes a bundle of broom sedge tied tight to a stick, sometimes an old hog bristle brush saved back just for this. You'd move what furniture there was out into the yard, and you'd go over every wall, top to bottom, in long strokes. By evening, the whole cabin smelled sharp and clean of fresh lime, and the walls fairly glowed. There was pride in it. A well-kept place with fresh whitewash told the road that this was a family that took care of what it had. It wasn't about being fancy. Nobody up our creek was fancy. It was about facing the warm season with a house that was bright and tight and clean and sound. All of that out of a barrel of lime and a day's work. So no, the white on those cabin walls was never for pretty. It was light in a dark room. It was the bugs held back. It was a house kept standing another year. And it was the plain good feeling of starting the season over clean. A family with next to no money found a way, out of burned limestone and creek water, to do all four at once. Practical, every bit of it. Not one brushstroke wasted. That was the whole reason, and now you know it, same as the old folks did. If you'd care to hear more of these old mountain ways, the kind of thing the old folks knew and never wrote down, stay around a while and follow along. I've got a good many more to tell you. I'm Silas. Take care of your own.